I'm ready to announce. I'm ready to say their names. Got it. Do you know what this thing's officially being called? Okay. Okay, thanks. I'm just going to start. Ladies and gentlemen, here are your teams. In blue, Maya Kaiser, West Anchorage High School. Caitlin Sweeney, Diamond. Alexandra Ash, Kenai Peninsula. Courtney Campbell, Service. Number 4, Keely Jelinek, South Anchorage High School. Number 5, Catherine Jorgensen, Chugiak High School. Sydney Lagamorsino, number 6, South Anchorage High School. Number 7, Julia Miknich, Service High School. Number 8, Christine Richter, Service High School. Number 9, Kayla Sims, South High School. Number 10, Mia Wilson, Anchorage. Number 11, Sarah Cool, Ketchikan. Number 12, Rachel Fisher, East Anchorage. Number 13, Darby Judd, Diamond. Number 14, Shelby Naaman, Service. Numbers 15, Sarah Newton, South. Number 16, Anna Sophia Roberts, West. Number 17, Molly Romero, Chugiak. Number 18, Shayna Woolery, Eagle River. Number 19, Katrina Wood, Grace Christian. For your gray team, goalkeeper, Tara Fisher, Eagle River. Goalkeeper Rachel Thompson, Nikiski. Number 2, Janessa Arzi, Chugiak. Number 3, Holly Bremer, Chugiak. Number 4, Maya Johnson, East. Number 5, Laurel Payton, South. Number 6, Skylar Shaw, Soldotna. Number 7, Haley Van Allen, Service. Number 8, Sarah Walling Bell, West Valley. Number 9, Grace Warren, East. Number 10, Brianne Young, Service. Number 11, Zoe Bailey, Service. Number 12, Carrie Ann Hansen, Service. Number 13, Carolyn Kinsey, Service. Number 14, Taryn McCubbins, Nikiski. Number 15, Callie Orizati, Anchorage. Number 16, Haley Perry, Anchorage. Number 17, Cameron Sweeney, Diamond. Vanessa Velez, ASD. Number 19, Amber White, Thunder Mountain. Thank you, and let's play.
Welcome you back here to the Dome, and we're set for kickoff for this Alaska Airlines Soccer ID Camp showcase game. Girls going up first as we get set for kickoff. Canyon, certainly a great opportunity here for these girls to get some opportunity here to be seen by some college coaches around the area, and chance obviously to see what they can do probably at the next level.
Yeah, what a great chance to be seen by. I think we had 12 coaches here up at the camp this week, and then with this game being televised and put out there, lots more chances for kids to maybe earn a college scholarship.
Teams were picked earlier on today, from what I understand, separating these teams to make for an even matchup.
Yeah, we've been working with the players for 4 days and kind of making observations day by day, and I think there were about 64 kids in the camp, and these were the top players in our estimation.
Talk a little bit about how you identified these players, to bring them in for this week.
Well, Terry did a lot of that work with the initial identification of the players, and they kind of put themselves into the camp and registered themselves. But he definitely went out and found some players and said, you should be part of this if you want to play college soccer. And then they just finished the state tournament and almost immediately turned around and started running these camp sessions with us. And we did a lot of technical stuff, a lot of tactical stuff as well, and just compared notes at the end of every day and said, well, who do you have on your list that you think deserves to be in that showcase?
It's been a tough spring from what I understand here, weather-wise. Getting these girls out on the field has been difficult as well up here, hasn't it?
Yeah, that's what I've heard too. All of our coaches are from warmer climates, so for us to hear that they spent a lot of their season inside here in the Dome was kind of surprising. But what a cool facility. This is my first time to step into here, and pretty neat that Anchorage has this. I don't know what they would have done without it.
Yeah, mine as well. This is a nice facility here, and the start of in a kind of a fun week, as there will be a youth tournament that gets underway tomorrow and lasts through Sunday, and then this ID camp being added to that week to make it a full week of soccer here in Anchorage.
Yeah, every time I come up to Alaska, and this may be my 4th or 5th consecutive year, I'm amazed at how much they play in a short amount of time. These kids have literally been playing for 7 or 8 days straight. Oh, there's Caitlin Sweeney, just asked to change her goalkeeper jersey. Maybe she was wearing gray to start with.
That was the reason for the delay, as play is back in here.
Caitlin's going to be a senior at Diamond High School. She just came off a state championship and is probably feeling pretty good about that. Nice week for her.
Seem to be playing a lot of balls into Hansen of the great team, as she's that ball a little bit too far as it goes out for a goal kick.
Yeah, Carrie Ann is a really active player, and so she finds herself in positions where she can get the ball a lot. She's quick, she's good. She has a really nice cross. We haven't seen that yet, but she gets to the end line and swing balls in just about as well as anybody in this camp this week.
There she is again on the near side here. Both teams filling each other out right now. A lot of play in the midfield here to begin this match.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to I think these girls are pretty excited and a little bit nervous. I think they're going to play a little faster than they're used to for the first 10 or 15 minutes.
Sarah Cool with the throw in for the blue team, as they haven't been able to muster an attack so far. White the great team has controlled most of the possession, although there have been a few chances here early on.
Yeah, blue in the middle has number 19, Katrina Wood, very skilled player, very comfortable with the ball. She can swing the ball. So if they can start finding her in that middle part of the field, good things will happen for Blue, and you can kind of see her directing her teammates a little bit. And then also running with her is Catherine Jorgensen, number 5, quite a good athlete, and she hits a long ball quite well, so it'll be nice to see if she gets a chance to spread the field out a little bit.
As a coach, can you talk a little bit about what the plan is when you have a group of girls like these two teams here for a short amount of time, but obviously you get a good amount of time during that span, what you try to work on, how you break it up, etc.?
Yeah, I think you're going to see some really just basic things, set pieces here, a long ball into the box, put it into the mix, get a lot of players in the area. You're going to see probably both teams in a 4-4-2. Because they're comfortable with that, and some of the 4-3-3 formations and things require a little bit more coordination if the kids aren't familiar with that. And so I think you're going to see 2 flat back 4s at the back, no stopper sweeper, just flat back 4. I think you're going to get real kind of basic encouragement from the coaches, get the ball down into the wing, swing some crosses in, see if you can beat some people off the dribble, make the game simple on that one-on-one level.
A couple of balls just out of the reach of Zoe Bailey for the blue team. Sets up another goal kick here.
Yeah, there's Maya Kaiser. We ran a small-sided activity in one of the days at the camp, and she was just dynamite. The goalkeeper for Gray, really quick, gets to a lot of things. Kind of opened a lot of the coaches' eyes. They were impressed with her athleticism and quickness. Number 14 here at the back for Blue, Shelby Naiman has shown really well. Very composed player, confident on the ball, good center back who can kind of direct the players around her.
These girls range in age from players who've just finished their freshman season through their junior season, as the oldest of these girls on the field will be seniors in the upcoming year.
Yeah, it gives them a little bit more of a chance to be seen. That recruiting process can start at a lot of different ages, but even the girls who are going in to be seniors, they've still got time to find a good home and a good place to play, and there's a lot of talent in Alaska.
A handball there called against Maya Johnson, setting up the free kick for the Gray.
Kelly Jelinek is you'll see her as sort of the anchor for the Gray defense. Here she is on the ball. Very composed player, really likes to swing the ball left and right. That's an excellent passer, and that's why you see her playing where she does.
Kelly Orazito unable to maintain possession as the ball is played in. We're looking there at Sarah Walling-Bell.
Yeah, Sarah came down from Fairbanks for this camp. She plays in state ODP, and I talked to one of her coaches, a guy named Dan Ruffner, and he really speaks highly of her, just loves her approach to the game, her attitude, her toughness, and we definitely saw that this week. That's a kid who just works and works, and that's a hard thing to coach, so you look for that in players.
The free kick here coming up for Gray in the attacking third.
Haley Van Allen, she's a very clean striker of the ball, as you see there. I think that scored, yeah. She probably scored as many goals as anybody in the camp. She hits the ball well. She's confident. As you saw, she came all the way across the field to hit that. Although, to my untrained eye, she might have hit a rolling ball, which, as you know, is an infraction. So I don't know. Maybe I didn't see that correctly. I probably didn't. I'm a ways away.
You don't often see that quick free kick taken from that where it's actually a shot and not just a short ball. So may have caught the keeper off guard there as Gray takes a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, so here's Keely Jelinek on the ball. She's searching the field out. Nice pressure. Anna Sophia. Let's see what Anna Sophia Roberts. Very good player. One of the better dribblers in the camp, Anna Sophia up top. So if Blue can figure out to get the ball to her feet, they're going to be in business, I think. A little mistake now. This girl on the ball, too. Let me double check. But yeah, Vanessa Velez, number 18 for Gray, is another player to keep an eye on. When she gets the ball at her feet, she feels really confident to beat players off the dribble, and she has a high success rate.
Long through ball here is played out by Orizotti rather, and it'll be a Gray throw in.
Good battle there, too. That's going to be quite a battle between those two. Kat Jorgensen and Holly Brimmer, number 3, and Gray right there that we see. She's out of Chugiak, and I think she's one of the more highly touted central midfielders in the state. Here she is. You'll see her on the ball a lot. She can play the ball with both feet. She plays a lot of those diagonal balls, create problems for the defense.
Nice ball there to Skylar Shaw. Trying to get the ball there.
Yeah, Skylar had a nice camp. Really tackled hard all the time, ran hard, played with good pace, and she's a nice presence physically on the field as well. So here's Vanessa Velez putting a little pressure on. Caitlin Sweeney, this goalkeeper, very confident and very willing to come off her line. Good foot skills, good communicator. I think those qualities will carry her a long way. She's the kind of goalkeeper that often, I would imagine, gets named captains of her teams and keeps her defense organized.
I'm sure in these situations you can identify the leaders and those type of players rather quickly as these camps emerge, right?
Yeah, and when we look at our college teams, nearly every player on the roster has served as a captain in some capacity, and so that leadership just becomes an expectation at the next level, and you can really see it. But a lot of these girls have the confidence to step up and take charge. Nice long throw. That's a weapon that some coaches will be looking for, is a nice long throw from some of their players. So Kat Jorgensen with a good throw there.
And often I've found when you can actually do, rather than that, the flip throw where the accuracy is not always there. Sometimes that long, deep throw, the conventional throw, can be something that coaches really look for.
Yeah, I know coaches who have told their players not to do it, as a matter of fact. And sometimes you can break the flow of your game by pulling your left back all the way across the field to do this big throw in. And sometimes you're better off to just get the ball down, get it back in play, because you can kick the ball a lot further than you can throw it. So, there's a time and a place for it, but it can disrupt your attack occasionally. So somebody who can just step up and grab it and throw it 25 yards, that's quite a weapon.
Gray with a 1-0 lead on a free kick goal just moments ago.
Here's Catherine Wood on the ball. Confident, good vision. It's nice, just missed that target striker, but the idea was there.
Fisher with the feed there to here Henson.
There's a chance for that big throw in. Kat Jorgensen's down in that corner. She's going to walk away from this one. I'd like to see her go grab that and throw that in. Kayla Sims here, she had a fantastic camp too. She's a very fast and strong player, and when she decides she wants to go to goal, there weren't a whole lot of players who could step in between her and separate her from the ball. So they're running her outside mid, and it'll be interesting to see if she can get some momentum going at goal, because when she does, she's as dangerous as anyone in the camp. Holly Brimmer, this could be dangerous because she's got such good vision.
Bremer with the pass to Van Allen.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough combination. I think Haley Van Allen, like I say, she may have scored the most goals in the camp this week. So to have, and Holly was one of the stand-up center mids, so that combination could present some trouble. Here's Kayla Sims down here in the corner.
Produces a throw in for Blue, looking for the equalizer here as we approach midway point of the first half.
Here's a chance to see Vanessa Velez on the ball.
Gray with the possession advantage so far in this game. The ball taken away there by Amber White. And Blue tries to start an attack. Should just say Katrina Wood there for the Blue team. Blue with another throw in deep in Gray's end.
Yeah, at this point, I might encourage my team to get as many players in the box and really see if you can create a game-tying goal here.
Peyton with a long throw there, and a header goes off the post, and the rebound is a score.
Nice goal. Great first save. Maya Kaiser with that, Tara Fisher with a nice first save, and a little unfortunate it came off the post and back in.
That was Shayna Woolery, number 18, it looked like, with the rebound off the post to tie the game at 1.
So into the game here, we've got number 4, Maya Johnson from East High School. I'm going to run her up top, play some target striker. I talked to her. She's also a basketball player. She plays low post, and we talked about the similarities between posting up in basketball and posting up in soccer. She said it's a real comfortable transition for her to that position.
It's interesting you say that because as a referee, I've seen a lot more of, especially in the women's game, playing with the receiving balls back to the goal, trying to draw a defender in that way and either spin around or play out to wing players. You see that a lot more, at least I've noticed that in the women's game here in the last few years.
Yeah, and it's become a really common sight to get 3 strikers up top, and one of them being that pure target striker whose job is to get the ball and hold it up top, and that usually requires someone who's strong enough and confident enough to play with their back to those tough defenders. It's a pretty scary position. I just realized that I had made a mistake. Number 4 on Blue is Keely Jelinek. She's playing on Blue, and the player that I identified her as is Grace Warren, number 9 from East Anchorage on Gray. So that center back was swinging the ball around so well is Grace Warren. And Keely does it very well too on the other side, so their games are similar. I think maybe is what I missed.
Look at the nice sequence here. The ball is played in with the left foot of Wood.
Good look there at Tara Fisher. This is a kid that you can tell just loves the game. We put him through a couple really tough activities one day, and I finally asked, I said, how are you doing? Is this too many shots in a short amount of time? And she looked at me like I was crazy. Nice move by Maya there.
As this game has moved along, we've seen the play pick up a little bit better with more crisp passing and possession play.
Yeah, they seem to have gotten past that little nervousness stage or whatever that was. So here's Keely Jelinek that I was talking about.
Plays the ball back to her keeper here. Tied at 1. Sarah Newton there.
Sarah Newton's a fun one because she's one of the youngest kids in the camp, and just enthusiastic about the game, you know, obviously excited, came up after every session that we'd run and said, thanks, coach. And, you know, that stuff goes a long way. She's definitely a player who likes the game and is going to continue to improve.
Gray with an opportunity now here. It's Holly Bremer. She's been very active in this game, unable to continue that run.
Yeah, she gets a lot of possessions, and that's the thing that I think stands out about Holly, is that she's on the ball as much as anybody we saw all week. And you know, there's a lot to be said for just creating possessions for your team.
The free kick for Gray, scored its goal off a free kick.
It looks like Maya Wilson is subbed in at outside right back here. She's getting ready to take the throw in. She'll be a sophomore next year.
Great opportunity at that young of an age to be able to play at this level.
Yeah, really open your eyes to how many talented players there are out there.
Sarah Newton in the corner there will set up another throw in for Blue deep in Gray's end. Liberal substitutions by both teams here in the first half.
Yeah, I think the coaches are going to be pretty conscious of saving the players' legs. Like we say, they've been playing a lot of soccer, and they're definitely not as energetic as they probably were 4 or 5 days ago, but they're still doing great things.
Christine Richter with the cross in.
There's Kayla Sims with a nice turn and shot.
Gray control possession early on in the match, got a quick goal, go up 1-0, but Blue with the equalizer.
Good battle there in the midfield. Good play by Holly not to let her turn, but good play by Catherine too, not to cause a turnover. Zoe Bailey, number 11 in the gray. She plays as quickly as anybody we saw in the camp. Gets the ball, gets rid of it, moves, gets it back, and we talk about cadence with our players. What's your cadence? How quickly can you make the game happen? And she keeps the cadence about as high-paced as anybody I've seen at her age.
That's really the key, isn't it, to play at the next level, because the game is so much faster, so much more physical at the college level.
Yeah. Speed of the game is probably the single biggest difference. Because you know anybody can make the right decision if they have 5, 6, 7 seconds to make it. But if you have half a second, 1 touch or 2 touches as opposed to 4 touches.
We looked at some of that speed there from Shayna Wallery, who was able to track down that ball in the deep corner and then force a corner kick for the Blue team here.
Yeah, I heard a rumor going around that Shayna's going to be moving down maybe North Carolina, South Carolina, something along those lines, and the soccer community is bummed to see her go.
Yeah. Just a sophomore, soon to be a junior. More substitutions here late in the first half of this Alaska Airlines Soccer ID Camp Showcase girls game. A nice corner kick there, but Blue.
Oh, great rip. Wow.
That is a pretty goal.
Well, we got our money's worth. Shelby Naiman from service, going to be a junior. Quite a week. What a great strike there. Wow. That scores at the college level.
Yeah, exactly. A little upper 90 action for about, was that 25 yards or so.
Wow.
Tremendous goal by Blue, and after trailing 1-0 early on, 2 consecutive goals to take the lead. Initial corner went through without any damage for the Gray team, but then on the rebound out toward the middle of the field outside the penalty area. Tremendous strike by Shelby Naiman.
Yeah, you see a lot of players try to overhit that. They think they have to kick it through the crowd. It looked to me like she was pretty relaxed and just took a regular swing at the ball and kind of trusted that that would work.
Naiman, a junior to be, rising junior.
Amber White up top here in number 19 in the gray. Oh, great movement by Zoe Bailey. So now Zoe's in the middle of the field, and I think you'll notice her often in gray. So here's Katrina Wood. Like I say, good player, but there's Zoe, and you'll find Zoe around the ball a lot. Number 13, Darby. Let's see what's Darby's last name. Darby Judd at Diamond, going to be a sophomore. And she's another high-energy player, so the midfield's they just made some changes in the middle, and it'll be interesting to see how that sorts itself out.
Brianne Young will take this throw in for Gray. Game has indeed picked up the intensity, as Canyon mentioned. Some of the nerves early on gone now, and it always happens now. You just playing the game of soccer.
Yeah, you kind of forget who's around and what's going on and whether or not there's a camera on you, or you know, but before the game you get to think about all those things.
Free kick for Gray here.
Janessa Arzi from Chugiak High School driving the ball forward. We saw Cameron Sweeney in the middle there, number 17. She just came on. Pressure in this ball here. Good presence on the ball. She doesn't get bumped off the ball very much. She's got a good solid shot, so if she can find herself, you know, anywhere inside like 25 yards, you'd think she might be looking to get a shot off.
Gray with another throw in here. It'll be Brianne Young taking it.
Brianne's going to be a sophomore at Service. Service made the state title this year, and with a really young team, and that's great. It looks like, you know, Service has the potential to be pretty good next year with all these young players who got minutes in the championship game, and if they're, you know, fortunate enough to find themselves back there, those nerves will be gone hopefully for them.
High school season just came to an end not that long ago here. There were a lot of weather issues, talking to some folks here before the game, and as we mentioned earlier, they've had to play a lot of games in a short period of time to finish the high school season on time, and of course this camp coming up right after that.
Janessa Arzi showing some good pace there. Shayna Woolery, I would have guessed, is one of the quicker, faster players. Of course, we didn't just run any sprints with them, but good by Janessa to be able to turn and keep her from getting in behind. I thought that might be a breakaway opportunity right there. Yeah, the state title was Service and Diamond, and Diamond won it. Diamond lost a heartbreaker last year to South, and so they got the title that they missed the year before, and you'll see that a lot. Teams make the championship one year, and then they come back really hungry to win it the next year. So that bodes well for Service.
A lot of Service players on both of these teams as well. Talk a little bit about how you split up these teams and how you put these teams together for this game.
Well, the coaches, all the coaches have taken on a different role. So we created a pool of the players that we thought had shown really well through the camp and had earned this opportunity. And this was chosen by the college coaches. So we came to a consensus on the players, and then there was actually there's been quite a bit of rivalry between the two coaching staffs, and there was actually an extended draw and a draft session the other night, which got competitive. And, so I think there was some wheeling and dealing that, certain coaches say, I really want this player on my team, and I'll trade you this player for that player. So they essentially handpicked the teams that they wanted and just took turns picking players. So I think you'll see a pretty even matchup.
That's what we've seen so far. Gray took the early lead in the free kick, then 2 straight goals by Blue. The best goal we've seen so far by Shelby Naiman. Upper right corner. Rebound off a corner kick.
Yeah, we've seen, I believe all 3 goals have come off of restarts. A set piece, and then a long throw, and then a corner kick. And I think that's pretty common. I've heard 60% of goals at the professional level come off of restarts. I don't know how that translates to the high school game, but, based on what we've seen, it's 100%. So. It's a nice play by Zoe. You'll see her on the ball. I would have liked to see her spin out and maybe go to the weak side of play there, but she's a player who creates so many opportunities that you can coach that into her, because she gets so many repetitions in the course of an activity, and she's she seems to be very coachable. So that would be a circumstance if we was running a training session. I'd say great win, see if you can turn and look to the weak side of the field there, and I think she'd pick that up pretty quickly.
That ball was just out of the reach of Carolyn Kinsey.
There's Catherine Jorgensen on the ball. Shayna Woolery a little. Oh, good. That's a fine foul. If she doesn't come back and pressure that, Shayna's running at the back line with another striker up top. That a lot of people will reference that as a professional foul. It's really tactical. They're not probably going to score from that distance, but if you let her keep running, you might find yourself in some trouble.
Mm-hmm. Those are things you must learn as well as you become a college player, knowing the type of fouls you need to take at times.
Maya Wilson here on the outside right back for Blue has, I think, brought something nice to the Blue team. She's doing a nice job defensively, but a couple times she's gotten forward into the attack. And, at the higher level, you see that an outside back isn't just a player who's expected to defend. They're often they were a striker in high school, and then they're asked to do a little bit more. At the college level, they're expected to start your attack. So teams will swing the ball and get the ball to a really dangerous dribbler, and you'll see them come forward. I just saw in the U.S. national team on the men's side, DeMarcus Beasley has been moved to an outside back, and he came in as a hot shot striker as a young guy, and now they've moved him outside to take advantage of his speed and his dribbling. Carolyn Kinsey, that was a nice little step over there to just create that space.
There's Blue with some numbers now as a long ball is played toward the left sideline for Christine Richter. Out for a Blue throw in.
Yeah, there's a good shot of Sarah Walling-Bell right there, chasing that ball down and knocking it out.
Shayna Woolery. Not enough on that header. Blue maintains possession here. Possible opportunity, but unable to corral that ball. Darby Judd. Back comes Gray as this game opening up a little bit here late in the first half.
Yeah, we just saw Janessa Arzi go forward again, and I mentioned her quickness and her pace a little while ago. She looks to me like one of those players that would be a good potential outside back at the college game. Just quick, can come forward and get into the attack and then get back as well. And that's one interesting thing with my experience with Alaskan players is they a lot of times get asked to to play a different position in college, you know, and a lot of players do. They rarely get to play the position they've always played.
Ball in deep here for Carolyn Kinsey.
Oh,
And that shot is off the post. Near impossible angle, but we almost had our second incredible goal here in this match.
yeah, that would have been something.
I think she had a shot to get that on frame from that angle, but quite an effort.
That's one of those where if it goes out of bounds, you tell your teammates, sorry, I was crossing that. And if it goes in, you tell everybody, oh, I was shooting that. Yeah. I don't know what you say if it hits the post. Callie Orazati here getting ready to take the throw in, number 15. Going to be a junior at Anchorage. It just says Anchorage School District. I'm not sure what that means with south, east, west, all those others.
Throw in taken there, number 15, Callie Orazati. Goal kick for the Blue.
I like that idea, throwing that ball into Maya Johnson. I would have liked them to wait a second longer and let Maya get set instead of having to receive that ball as she's running. You know, let her really, really get set and post up and throw the ball into her feet and let her hold the defender off a little bit more. But those are little things that require playing together to coordinate. And I don't know how many of these girls even know each other's names, so that really adds a difficult element to it.
What was a typical day like in this camp, and how long were they out in the field and working?
We'd run a session in the morning, you know, approximately 10 to noon, a couple hours, and work on some technical, tactical stuff. But typically take them through what a college training session would look like, and we'd have an area of focus, you know, individual defending or finishing, you know. And then in the afternoon, we'd bring them together and do an activity that allowed the coaches who are up here at the camp to look at the players. And, you know, that's one of the draws for the 12 of us who came up is, are we going to find some players that we like for our program? So, you know, there's quite a few small-sided games and, you know, a lot of 8v8. We played a lot of 8v8 just to get the players on the field and let them play. So morning technical, tactical, and then afternoon more game situations.
12 college coaches participating and on hand for this event, kind of ranging in all different levels of the game as well.
Yeah, we had Division I. I think every level was represented. Division I, Division II, Division III, NAIA, junior college. So, and all pretty successful programs. So some really cool opportunities for these kids. We ran a college night where they could ask some questions about how do you get recruited? What matters to a college coach? And it was fun to be able to share some of those things that character matters. You know, talent comes first. If they can't play, they're probably not going to get recruited. But all these kids can play. And then the next level is, you know, who are you? What are you going to bring to the program other than your ability on the ball? And nice play by the outside right back again. I really like what I'm seeing from her out there. That's Maya Wilson, and she's just going to be a sophomore, but I think in a couple of years she has potential to be a pretty special player. There was also a youth component to this camp, so a lot of little kids running around, and that was cool too to see sort of the future of the soccer in Anchorage and around the area. Some players in from Whitehorse in Canada, that was cool, and players down from Fairbanks, and a few other places as well. So.
Closing moments of this first half with the blue team. They're trailing 1-0 early, on top 2-1, and we have just reached halftime. Seen some entertaining goals. The tie-breaking one by Shelby Naiman, the top one of the evening so far. And at halftime here is the blue leading the gray 2-1, the Alaska Airlines Soccer ID Camp Showcase game.
Outside, and then Vanessa and Haley on top. Okay? Come on, ladies. Come on, let's do this. Okay? Cheer now. Cheer now. Cheer now.
We welcome you back here to the Dome in Anchorage as we get set for the start of the second half. This is the Alaska Airlines Soccer ID Camp Showcase game. The girls going first. Boys game is later on. And the blue with a 2-1 lead over the gray with 2 unanswered goals. We get start for the second half. It's been an entertaining game. We've seen some pretty goals here so far in this one. Haley Van Allen got the scoring off with the first goal of the game for Gray off a free kick. Shayna Woolery tied it. And then a tremendous goal by Shelby Naiman put the blue on top 2-1.
I got some weird feedback.
You see a couple new players on the field. Number 6 in blue, Sydney Lagamarcino. Hope I'm doing that name right. I worked with her to pronounce it right at the beginning, and I don't quite have it, I don't think, but close enough. From South, so she's number 6 in the central midfield. She was a good physical player all week in the camp, and she ran center back a lot. I think when she was asked to put herself in her most comfortable position, that was center back. And 2 new goalkeepers in. For blue, Maya Kaiser's in. She plays at West. She'll be a sophomore. And Rachel Thompson from Nikiski, and she'll be a junior for Gray.
Gray trying to get something going here. Look at Holly Bremer, has been very active in this match, showing some speed there as well.
Yeah, I think Holly's dad is a coach out in Chugiak, and I think he's the high school coach at Chugiak. And there's a couple interesting things about Chugiak in the world of Alaskan soccer. Chugiak just recently graduated possibly the best player in the history of soccer. And a girl named Kelly Cobb, she's playing for the maybe U21 nationals team. She full ride scholarship to Duke and led them to the national championship as a freshman, and I think was their leading goal scorer. So for a player like that to come out of a small community is pretty impressive. And Holly got to play with her, got to run in the central midfield behind one of the highest recruited players in the nation. And Holly's sister also is a college soccer player. I'm not sure what level. So she's got a little bit of a savvy about the game.
trying to convert that free kick. Unable to get that much on that shot off the cross. Gray so far has controlled play here to start the second half, looking for the equalizer, down 2-1.
Nice ball. She's going to keep that in. That's nice. Here comes a nice cross, I suspect.
It's Hansen. Another shot off the post.
Nice
now
hit.
An opportunity. Skylar Shaw with the shot, but a nice save there.
Wow, that was hit well, and good hands by Maya Kaiser there. Maya showed really well in the camp all week too, just tough and puts herself in the right positions and has a pretty good sense of when to push things wide, when to punch, when to catch. Well, that was nice that ball didn't turn into a loose ball in front of the goal.
So Kaiser getting tested very quickly in the 4th minute of the second half after sitting out the first half. Able to make the save of this game so far.
Nice little overlap. That's creative. It's hard to deal with.
Ball stays in there along the touchline. No, it doesn't. And it'll be a throw in for Blue and Kaylee Jelinek.
There's Sarah Newton getting ready to take the throw now. I heard an interesting story about Sarah, and I may have some of the details wrong, but she goes to Grace Christian. They don't have a soccer team, so in order to play, she had to take classes at South in order to play. So I believe she was taking some ridiculous amount of classes, 8, 9, 10, 12 classes in order to be eligible to play.
You mean at the combination of both schools?
Well, yeah, between those two schools. So she's sort of double enrolled for an opportunity to play. Now I don't understand the ins and outs of it, but that was a story that I heard, and apparently she did quite well in the classroom with all that. So looks like she's still very young, just going to be a sophomore next year.
Well, if you wanted to show a coach you were motivated to play the game, that story certainly shows that she is.
Yeah, a lot of players are barely willing to do 6 classes to play, so double that. We're starting to see Katrina Wood just real comfortable on the ball in the middle, and that's kind of what I alluded to at the beginning. And now she's starting to just relax, get her eyes up, beat a player off the dribble.
There's a turnover now here, and again, player involved. It's a player we talked about a lot so far, Holly Bremer.
Yep, Holly's definitely got a future in the game, that's for sure.
Nice stick that time by the Grays' Skylar Shaw, forcing a turnover as Gray has controlled possession and field position so far here in the second half.
Yeah, it's been a little one-sided to start. There's Haley Van Allen again.
Wow, another tremendous goal, this time by Haley Van Allen, her second of the game. And we have seen, Canyon, some exceptional goals here in this match.
Yeah, and Haley scored them all camp long. She's comfortable playing with her back to the goal. She's got this really nice ability to receive and spin and pull herself and the ball away from the defender and actually strike the ball going away from the goal. So, that a lot of players, if they have time to wind up from out there, they can put a dangerous shot on, but she received that, created separation, and got the shot off all in a couple touches. So I wouldn't be surprised to see her get another, honestly. I mean, she's had 2 shots and 2 goals. So
soon to be a junior. So plenty of time as well to develop. She's turning some heads here in this showcase game here at the Alaska Airlines Soccer ID Camp. 2-2.
Yeah, 4 goals and three shots off the post. Not bad.
Plenty of offense. Bremer again now, getting a lot of the loose balls in the midfield.
There's Haley on the ball again. Good stick by Kayla Sims.
You talked a little bit about it in the first half, but these two coaches, I'm sure, have a little rivalry going in this game as well, wanting to get the win.
Yeah, there's the coaching staff. So the 2 head coaches there's 2 head coaches for each team, and for the gray team, we've got. Let me just glance over there, make sure I've got this right. Actually, 3 over there. So there's Adam Finster, the head coach for NAIA Evergreen in Olympia, Washington. From Grand Canyon University, goalkeeper coach on the women's side, and assistant Devin Wharf. So Grand Canyon's D2, but they just moved D1, so now they're D1. And then Isabella Harvey, she just took the job at CSU LA, so California State University at Los Angeles, and they're a D2 program. So those 3 competing over here with for blue, we've got Melissa Phillips, the head coach at CSU Bakersfield, which is D1. And we've got, let me see. Dave Rialt, head coach of College of St. Scholastica in, I believe, Duluth, Minnesota, D3 program. So, and we coaches didn't know each other when we came up here, so it's been fun. We've spent, 4 days together and talked a lot of soccer and run coaching sessions together and created some fun little rivalries. So I'm sure there's going to be some bragging rights based off of this game.
Again, it's Bremer. The ball a little bit out of the reach that time of Skylar Shaw. One of those balls where perhaps if you're playing on grass, she gets to that.
Yeah. Turf can be pretty fast.
2-2 is our score here. A couple of goals scored by Haley Van Allen, including the tying goal here in the second half. Out the 57th minute right now.
If I'm coaching the blue team, I would really encourage players to step and put a little bit more pressure on Holly Bremer. I just think she's too confident. She understands the game too well to give her that kind of space. It's, I'm sure that the coaches have mentioned that, but sometimes translating that message over to a player with some heavy legs, and Holly's not an easy player to mark. She does a good job of finding space, but I think that's going to be the key for this game at this moment, is to just find a way to give her less time in the middle. This is where I like Kayla Sims. When she gets the ball on the dribble and starts coming forward, she can really be difficult to deal with, and my feeling is she's most comfortable up top, but they've run her outside here, maybe because they have a lot of strikers on their team, I'm not sure, but she would position herself as a striker, and then we're starting to see it a little more. She looks good up there.
Battle there. Number 6s, won by Lega Marcito of the blue team.
Yeah, Sydney was one of the more physical players all week in the camp. She's good in the air. To me, she's seemed like a very competent center back, and it's fun to get to see these kids play different positions, because I think they're being asked to play positions that maybe they haven't played, but you know, in terms of evaluating a player, sometimes that's great. You have to read the game differently.
No question, Katrina Wood with that shot wide of the goal. Sets up a goal kick.
Rachel Thompson is the goalkeeper here is from Nikiski, and Nikiski is a small town out on the coast. So the way Alaskan soccer works traditionally is that the Anchorage teams really dominate, and they win the state title, not all the time, but the majority of the time. And so it's fun to see a player come in from one of the smaller communities and do so well. And Rachel had a great camp for us. Played a really rapid fire game, and she reads the angles very well. And this was a game where she was taking shots from 6-7 yards and through traffic, and the saves that she made were really impressive. So she's got a natural knack for the game, and as she develops the technical side, she'll just get better and better.
There is just one division, correct, in Alaska soccer, right? So obviously some of these smaller schools are a little bit of a disadvantage.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Anchorage is a big city, and you go play some of these towns, you know. Yeah, I mean, the difference, I couldn't tell you what the populations are, but you know, I'm from Washington State, and you would have, you know, you'd never see 4A teams playing 1A teams or B schools, and you see that here.
Here's Bremer with a nice run, as she's unable, though, to maintain possession there. Goes out for a goal kick.
Yeah, Molly Romero, that's a nice little play by her. And, you know, those are teammates. Those are high school teammates. So Molly's also from Chugiak, and she'll be a junior. But nice ability to get that inside position and run her off the ball. That was done with a lot of confidence there. A lot of players would give up a corner kick or a deep throw in there, and she earned a goal kicker for her team.
Another one of the storylines in this game of teammates playing against each other in some instances, such as that one.
And you know, there's girls out here too here's Van Allen, nice.
First offside of the game. Vanessa Velez called for the offside. Vanessa
ran outside midfield for the majority of the camp, and I really encouraged her to take people on off the dribble, because she's got a great little inside-out move. She's very balanced, and she can do her moves at pace. As you see, nice little turn there. She does well when she gets a little bit of room to move. She's not a big person, so I think the more crowded things are, the less time she has on the ball. That hurts her a little bit. But I hope we get a chance to see her in the open field off the dribble, because that was one of the highlights of the camp for me, was her ability to run at outside defenders. You can see the outside defender's eyes get big. No, here she comes again. Yeah, as you're saying, one of the other thing is these girls are teammates, but you've got girls who just 3-4 days ago competed for the state tournament. You know, South and Diamond had a really competitive semifinal. You know, and there's still, I mean, there's got to be some animosity there. These girls are competitive and they want to win, but you know, it's great, because at the camp you never saw any of that. I had no idea who considered themselves rivals, and that's one of the special things about Alaska, I think, is there's a little bit more of an acceptance that, hey, we're all in this together.
Sure.
And, you know.
And of course, the other element as well is that these girls play on club teams as well, where they could be teammates at some point, opponents at the other, depending on the high school level as well.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, this camp is put together by the Alaska Rush, but there are players from other clubs too. Which, ooh, wow.
Foul called there. As Kayla Sims gets crunched along the right goal line.
I may have lobbied for a call there if I was a coach. Let's be honest, I would have been screaming my head off.
You're one of those guys.
Yeah, huh? I try not to be, but there are moments when I can't help it.
That does bring up the fact that you should tell us a little bit about yourself as well, Canyon, obviously coming to this event here as well as you coach a pretty impressive program in Washington State.
Yeah, I'm a coach at Peninsula College in Port Angeles, Washington. We're a junior college, and yeah, Alaska's been a great spot for us in terms of finding talented players, and we're only in our this fall will be our 4th season, and a lot of our initial early success came from bringing in some of these Alaskan players who just needed a chance to be seen, and the junior college route is a good one for a lot of these players because, as you can see, there's a lot of good athletes out here who maybe don't get noticed because they're so far from the more traditional showcase events. And yeah, this is a really cool opportunity for these kids because the programs that are represented. I'm just one of many that maybe will give some of these players a scholarship opportunity to move on and play.
Your recruiting area consists of what?
We're in an 8-state region, so we've got Alaska, Washington, Oregon, California, Montana, Idaho, Alaska, just that northwest region. Mm-hmm. So one interesting thing about Alaska, if you're not totally familiar with it, is it's a very sports-minded and very active culture. And so these kids, a majority of these kids have done speed and strength training. They've done sprint training. They've done weight training. And most of them are multi-sport athletes as well. So some coaches look for players to specialize, and if you're not playing club soccer 10 months out of the year, you're not going to be able to develop. I really think there's something to be said for, hey, that girl's the starting point guard on her high school team, and there's a lot of overlap between sports. Or a track athlete, obviously, who wouldn't want a high-level sprinter on their team. So that's one aspect that I really like about the Alaska area.
Kind of almost like the old days where you saw much more of the 3-sport athlete type players, where it is certainly the lower 48 much more specialized today. Yeah,
you even see players moving away from their high school teams. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to play high school anymore. Up here, high school means an awful lot, and I think that state championship is one of the highlights of the season for all these girls. And that's really cool to see. I think it's a shame that those state tournaments in some places are starting to fade away. I know in the Seattle area, quite a few players are being pulled away by Sounders developmental squads and things like that. And what a great opportunity for those kids. But it changes the state tournament a little bit when the top 5 or 6 players aren't there.
I live in Charlotte, North Carolina, which is unique in that there are actually 2 development academy programs within 15 miles of each other. So there has been a real downgrade, frankly, in the last couple of years at the high school level and the boys because of those U16, U18 development academy teams.
Yeah, I mean, and you can understand why the players take the opportunity, in terms of being seen and creating a scholarship opportunity for themselves. But as a fan, it's great, those rivalries between high schools.
Yeah, something that can't be beat.
Are you up here to ref games as well?
I am, yeah. Just got into town here a few hours ago and looking forward my first trip to Alaska, period. So really enjoying myself here so far. Another nice save by Kaiser. Had to come out that time.
She's brave, and she has been all week. You know, that type of save is something that I've seen from her over and over again, and you know, she's young. She's got a good frame for the position. You know, she's got a good wingspan. She can cover the goal. She seems to really enjoy the game, and then on top of that, she's brave, and that braveness component, that's not an easy one to coach. You could put me in the nets for 10 years and I would never want to come out and make that save. So
you make that point because you can't have any hesitation coming out on that, otherwise you're in no man's land and you're beaten for a goal. And she knew where she had to come out there immediately and made a nice save.
Yeah. Ooh. Darby
here.
Judd takes a pop in the nose. Let's see if she's got a bloody nose here. She's a tough kid. She played hard for us all camp long, and just one of those kids that you'd like to have on your team. Kid who's going to work. I like that saying. She'll run through a brick wall if you ask her to, and it's nice. And then she just shows she's tough too. Here's Zoe Bailey on the ball again. In our small-sided activity, she really shined. She was just really gets from spot A to spot B. She's one of the players that I think the more familiar the players got with each other, it would benefit her. You know, she's a type of player who really likes to combine with others.
Bailey just coming off her sophomore season at Service High School.
Yeah, and I believe she's also does really well in the classroom. I'm not positive of that, but I believe I was told that she's one of the top students in the class.
About halfway through this second half with gray and blue, all even at 2.
Yeah, we've kind of reached a little bit of a lull here in the game. Oh, all right. So there's a player I want to talk a little bit about. Number 5 in gray. Let's see, Laurel Payton from South. She's a fun one because she knows how to make those seam runs and get in behind the defense. They've got a run in here in the central midfield, which is a good spot for her because she's technical and she's quick and she can turn, and she could be a good attacking midfielder. But she could also kind of run as a withdrawn striker, and she has an understanding of how to get behind the defense without running herself off sides, and her acceleration's so good. She kept, I think she, in the time that I watched, created more breakaway opportunities than any other player, and it wasn't just pure speed, it was that 5 yards of pace.
This hurts.
Taryn McCubbins here with a throw in.
Canyon's doing a great job no matter what Taryn says.
Yeah, Taryn just corrected me on the saying of her name, so Taryn. I'm going to make sure I get that right. That ball, I like that ball. I like that diagonal over the top ball. On our men's side, we had an outside back who hit that ball so often, but he hit it so effectively. He could drive the ball from the outside back spot diagonally across the field over the opposing outside back, and it turned into a Division I scholarship for him. He's playing at Gonzaga, and really what they liked about him was that he could play that ball over the top. So in the women's game, it would be especially valuable if an outside back who has the power to hit that ball over the top. And there's another nice long ball. Those are both hit there by Shelby Naiman, who had scored that absolute stunner in the first half. So she's not particularly big, but boy, she strikes the ball cleanly.
Naiman with a goal in the upper right corner, about 25, 30 yards out in the first half. Our prettiest goal of the game. She's had some competition. We've seen some impressive goals, 4 of them, 2-2 tie, and also, as you see, liberal substitutions in this game as well.
So Gray has, they've got Maya Johnson back up top again. So kind of the one player who's, from what I see, really could run just a pure target striker spot. And I'm anxious to see if they're able to find her feet a little bit more in this half. Zoe Bailey and Catherine Wood battling over there on the sideline. They probably know each other pretty well. They've played each other multiple times in the last couple years, and they're both really mobile, so I imagine they run into each other a lot.
A near misplay by the defense, but nothing comes of it.
Oh, nice flick. That's nice about having a striker up there who can win those balls. I am not a big person, and I got thrown up top a lot. And I did not bring that component to the game.
You didn't win those headers, huh?
I did not win those, but I sure loved playing with the teammate who did. A little too much space there in the middle for Gray. Let's see if Catherine can exploit it.
A bad ball there.
Nicely run down.
Out for a corner, as that ball was tracked down by Shayna Woolery, who's scored a goal in this game as well. Blue will get a corner kick here, and as we mentioned earlier, set pieces have been where the goals have been scored in this match.
So here's Catherine. She's going to hit this an out swinger. She hits the ball really well. So left-footed out swinger. You don't see that often. It's nicely hit again. That's trouble. We've been spoiled because I was expecting to see a 30-yard shot there for a goal.
Blue maintaining possession there in their own half of the field. Molly Romero.
Here's a good shot of Amber White putting pressure on the ball. She and Gray, number 19 up top. Good hard-working player.
Shot wide that time by Cameron Sweeney.
Yeah, I like the idea. Cameron can hit that ball. I mentioned that at the beginning, that she can hit that ball from deep. It just, that one didn't quite set up the way she wanted it to, it looked like. There we go. Here's Sydney on the ball again.
I mentioned that the blue team does seem to have the advantage of getting space in the midfield in this match.
Yeah, this is where Laurel Payton could create. Oh, that's a really nice ball. Played over the top. Zoe Bailey. Hit the target striker. That's a nice little build up there for a group of girls who haven't worked on any of that. That's a pretty good attacking pattern.
Payton finishing it off with a shot on goal, which was saved by Mia Kaiser, who's had a very good second half. Two tremendous saves earlier on here. There's an opportunity for the blue team right now as Julia Miknich taking it down the left sideline, but ball's turned over.
Yeah, Sarah Cool with the run down the sideline and the block. What a great name, Sarah Cool. I told her before this, I said, that's a tough name to live up to, but she said she was up to it.
About 10 minutes to go in this one. Right now a 2-all tie. Boys game to follow here in this Alaska Airlines Soccer ID camp.
Keely Jelinek subbed back into the center back for blue. Darby Judd, who took that hit to the nose, is ooh!
Whoa!
Hard foul there, committed by Maya Johnson. Shaken up on the play. Jelinek, she gets up, appears to be all right. She'll stay in the game.
The coaches can't say enough positive things about her. I talked to her high school coach and a club coach in the area, and they both just said she's a fantastic person. You know, not going to find a much. That's the kind of player you want on your team. She's going to work hard. She's tough. She's going to battle.
Here's an opportunity for Johnson.
Nice save.
Another nice save by Kaiser. Cross headed away by Jelinek. And it's out for a goal kick. So Mia Kaiser, just a rising sophomore with a tremendous showing here in the second half in net.
Yeah, she's done everything that you could expect her to do. That shot that went in was, you know, there's not a lot of goalkeepers who are going to save that upper V shot that did go in. That's a nice ball. I like that. Spread the game out a little bit and drive Gray back just a bit. Holly Brimmer's back in the middle. I think we're seeing a couple changes. I think the competitive spirit of the coaches are showing through right now because I know, as a matter of fact, having been around these coaches all week, they both want to win. There's definitely some
maybe a little wager on this game?
Yeah, I suspect there might be. I think there's a little bit of trash talk going on, and it's been kind of fun to watch.
These events certainly provide some camaraderie, not only for the players, but the coaches as well. A lot of them, you folks obviously get to meet for the first time or renew some friendships and acquaintances as you don't see each other at other times of the year.
Yeah, it's great for networking, and you know, the further you move up the ranks in soccer, the smaller the group is, and the networking is just awesome, you know. And with working at a junior college like I do, the ability to meet these other coaches and talk to them about transfer players, and that's great. And it's fun too to meet people and talk to them about how do you deal with this situation, or, you know, even to just steal fun drills from each other. Nice battle by Kat Jorgensen. That's what Kat brings, is a really good physical presence to the game.
Long ball played, but just out of the reach of Sydney Lagamarcino. Turnover.
We just got a shot at Haley Perry there in the gray. Haley's going to be a 10th grader here in Anchorage. My info sheet just says Anchorage, so I'm not sure what that means exactly, but south or east or west, I'm not sure.
Looking there at Christine Richter, number 8, for the blue team, trying to get the go-ahead goal here in the closing moments of this match. Shot wide that time by Jelinek's been very active here in the second half.
Yeah, she's an interesting combination of traits, because she's a center back who likes to organize and she likes to challenge, but she's also really good on the dribble. So in one of the scrimmages earlier this week, I moved her to an outside back position, and she looked at me like, why am I doing this? And we talked about it afterwards. I said, you have a lot of the qualities of a good outside back, or even a holding central midfielder, and a center back. So she's a player who's pretty versatile.
Offside there. Ball played by Sims to Richter.
I like this for blue. Number 9, Kayla Sims is up top, and she was definitely in the top 2 or 3 goal scorers in the camp this week. So in the first half, they ran her at outside mid. She did well there, but I think she's more of a true striker where she can turn and really just start running downhill at the goal. So it'll be interesting to see if she gets a couple chances. We ran an 8v8 session, and she had about a 10-minute stretch where she was tough to stop, and it was that particular session that I think got her a spot in this showcase because the coaches all noticed her right away.
Gray looking for a final push for a go-ahead goal here as they get the throw in on the far sideline. Again, that's Bremer, who's been extremely active in this match.
Nice little switch there by Sarah Walling-Bell, number 8, center back for Gray. Darby Judd, it's a good hard-working player there. There's Darby Judd on the ball again.
Now we've got a foot race coming along, but that'll be ball that's played too far.
Nice little adjustment there by Rachel Thompson, the goalkeeper, to not just knock that ball out of bounds. She kind of opened up and hit that ball a little flatter. A lot of players will just turn and hit that out of bounds for about 30 yards away for a throw-in.
He's become wide open here in the closing moments. Several teams getting opportunities. Both teams, I should say. Mention that competitive spirit. Even an exhibition like this, still want to end up with a W.
Yeah, I think the coaches are pushing them too, you know, and it's funny, these kids have the Alaska Airlines tournament coming up in 2 days, and it's tough when you're playing for competitive people, you know. I do that a lot. I forget how tired a player's legs can be because they look like they're fine. They look like they've got lots of energy. They're young, aren't they? They should be able to run all day. Oh, here's Vanessa Velez.
Missing 2 defenders here, see if she can get out of it. Very nice ball there.
Nice cover by Jelinek to just shift in across and read that and pick that up. And
that was needed because that was Van Allen who was looking for a 3rd goal of the game.
Yeah, you don't want to give her another touch in the box there.
Here's Bremer again. Into the area and scores.
Nice run.
Probably fitting as Bremer has been perhaps the best player on this field for this match. And that time she was able to beat Kaiser for the go-ahead goal here in the closing moments of this game.
Good patience. She didn't just commit and make a decision and go with it. She waited and let the defender kind of dictate what was open for her, and then she took it. The way this has gone, though, I wouldn't be surprised if we got one more fantastic goal in it.
Still a few minutes left in this one. With the Gray on top now, 3-2.
So it'd be nice opportunity for a big long throw in, but there's not a lot of room over there on that sideline to get a run up.
Shot wide of the net that time by Darby Judd, and that'll be the final shot of this game. So certainly some entertaining action here, Canyon, as the Gray ends up winning this game 3-2, as we saw some talent out there on this game today.
Yeah, that was good. You know, and I'm really impressed because it's been almost 80 degrees all week, and 80 degrees for a lot of these girls is quite hot. They still a lot of energy.
3-2 is the final. Thanks for joining us here for the Alaska Airlines Soccer ID Camp Showcase.